शाहे करीम अलकरम, शाहे करीम अलकरम, शाहे करीम अलकरम। शुक्रन लिल्लाह वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, शुक्रन लिल्लाह वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। या अली मदद कामड़िया साहिब।
Malali Madad Khair Sahiba, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Welcome friends and welcome Dr. Sahiba to our Sunday session. Today's topic is Ishq Ilahi, part 2. Dr. Sahiba, whenever you are ready, please.
Ya Limadat everyone.
Malali Madad.
So yesterday Yasmin has discussed a lot of concepts about Ishq Ilahi, divine love. Now I will be going to explain few of the things, deeper thinking around what Quran and Hadith is talking about Ishq Ilahi. So if you see the concept and philosophy of love, जो कि falsafa है इश्क और मोहब्बत, you must have heard that this is very old story about Ishq and Mohabbat, and this is not something very new. People have written a lot of things about love, affection, deep affection. So I have just taken few of the description of what people around philosophers around this emotion is saying, that basically love or ardent love or ishq, in Urdu we call it ishq, Arabi we call it hub, and in English we call it love. So this love has an intensity, it says it is a deeper meaning, deeper affection, but also with some other person. And it's an intense affection for love. It could be weak, it could be stronger. And Harold Becker has written a book where it says Unconditional Love, where he's saying that we have searched endlessly for experience of love through our outer senses. Means there are senses which we feel, look, taste, and all those things are included in love. But there are also some inner senses that nation has gone through, undergone love of their people, and villages have also flourished and perished, claiming that they are on the true path because of the love, but we missed unconditional love. So I'm not going to dwell on the unconditional love, but people do not know what this unconditional love, or what we call it, the divine love, which is for Imam of the time, which is for Allah, which is for our religion, which is for our friends. So yesterday we talked about synonyms, that it has a lot of synonyms: adore, friendship, cherish, like, intense. These all are synonyms, and these all reflect love. How we love people, somebody care for, somebody that also shows love, somebody says something that also shows love. So that is all about the love. Everybody has their own definition, and sometimes we can have a session where we can have each of us think about what love is and how we define love in terms of religious love, in terms of love of the Imam is concerned. So for sure, this is human emotion. There are two very important things. This is human emotion. It is for the human and for the creature. It is nothing, some supernatural thing or something which is non-creature. So there are two important things in the love. Now for the philosophy of divine love, there are many questions exist. And our pre-dies and books in of Allama Nasiruddin Nasirunzai also has raised many questions about Ishq Ilahi. I will use ardent love or divine love or Ishq Ilahi interchangeably. So since when it exists, how long it will be, where it come from, why it is, how it is gained. Is it in embodied? It is in a jism, or if there is love is something which is very abstract, you cannot see. What are the benefits? What are the harms? And what is the greatness if there is a true love? And how we can spread and enhance the love, what are the stages, and what is the relationship of Ishq and Akal. Yesterday there was few questions around Ishq and Akal, like Ishq Akal Bhulaya, and somebody will say Ishq is former or Akal is former. So we will be discussing all those things in today's session. So what is basically Ishq Ilahi? So if we see for the divine love, Ishq Ilahi, not the material love, but Ilahi love, Nurani love, or love of the religion, or in the religious term, this is Nur, this is soul. So love is soul, divine love is soul, divine love is Nur. So that means that Ishq Ilahi is Noor Ilahi. And the greatest Noor is the greatest light, because this Noor is light. And in Duai Noor, we have learned that Noor is not only in the form of light. Noor there are many forms and many manifestations of Noor. Similarly, there are many manifestations of Ishq Ilahi. So since it is since the conception of this world, since human being is in this world, love is there, because Allah has created human being with His love, and we'll come how it is. We can say that Allah has created human being with His love, and in this ayah Khazain, وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا عِندَنَا خَزَائِنُهُ وَمَا نُنَزِّلُهُ إِلَّا بِقَدْرٍ مَّعْلُومٍ. So everything and every treasure in this world is coming from God, and God created each and everything which is in this world, be it music, be it speech, be it love, be it emotions. So this very dignified emotions are from Allah, and it is sent down. But then it says that we do not send it down, but according to the known measure. That means if our heart is prepared, then Ishq Ilahi enters. Or through Ishq Ilahi, we can gain more Ishq Ilahi. So Ishq Ilahi or heavenly love is mentioned in Quran, some explicitly and implicitly. Also explicitly, it is said hub, as I already said that in Arabic, muhabbat is called hub, and ashadu hubban lillah. So in Quran, the word ashadu means shadid, strong, very intense. So Quran doesn't say only hub, but it says ashadu hubban lillah, lovers of God, not lovers of God, but intense lover of God, strong in lover of God, is strongest in the love of God. So Quran is highlighting that those who are ashadu hubban lillah, means shadid, strong in hub, in mohabbat, they are the one who are very closest to Allah. And in Quranic dictionary, which is Al-Munjid, the terms which are used for love is ashikuhu, ishkan, to be affectionate, go beyond the bounds of affection. And so that means that in Quran it is said that those who believe, they only have ardent love for Allah. Those who believe in Allah have ardent love of Allah. We do not see that those who believe in Allah, those who believe in Imam, they have ardent love. So what does that mean? That means that the belief, the Iman has the stages. Similarly, the love has also the stages. Weaker the Imam is, because weaker the love is. Weaker the love is, weaker the Iman is. So those who are strong in belief have a strong and ardent love for the Imam of the time, and for Allah. So that's what Al-Munjid is saying. And one of the hadiths, it says, Holy Prophet says that amongst you, nobody can become a perfect mu'min. So now, mu'min's perfection. So the perfectionality lies in the ardent love. Because Prophet is saying that nobody can become a perfect mu'min until he loves me more than his father, his son, and everyone. So the topmost love and affection for us or for a perfect mu'min is the love for the Imam of the time. And this is the Prophet's love. And now in this our time, we all love Prophet, but how we can gain those love of Prophet through the Imam of the time? Because the same Noor of the Prophet is in the Imam of the time. So our love will be towards the Imam of the time, and a perfect mu'min love is the greatest and the strongest love. Now, since love is soul, it's Noor, and it's a heavenly love, which is called Asmani Ishq, Samawi Ishq, and Allama Sahib has used these different terms, heavenly love, Ishq Samawi, Ishq Asmani. And Asman means not this Asman, this sky or heaven, but it's the Asman of the personal world, our own personal world, which is we have how much we have love and the ishq in our own asman, which is in the mind and the soul of the moment. So as we said that love is not possible, but it is through Prophet. And according to Quranic ayat 3 by 31, unless some obeys the Prophet with love, God does not love him. So this is a clear indication that God will not love that moment until we love the Prophet. Or then the Prophet, after the Prophet, Imam of the time is his Noor. So until and unless someone who do not get into the emotions of Ishq and love to the Imam of the time, God does not love him. And so even if we say that we love Allah, we love God without looking, without seeing, but it is not possible, because it will be only possible if we have seen the Imam of the time and if we have love with the Imam of the time. And why love is important? Because through this love, the light will enter, and our hearts will be illuminated, and our heart will become Nurani through knowledge and good deeds. So it is a circle that through knowledge, through deeds, our heart, and we will receive a lot of light of love, Nurani Ishq, Asmani Ishq, and Ilahi Ishq. We will be only getting through the Imam of the time once we have knowledge and the good deeds, which is ilm and amal. So ilm and amal is important. Now, Noor-e-Ishq, soul of Ishq, is from heaven, and Allah has made this love or this soul a special resource for all of us, for His servant, so that we can attain the Imam of the times destiny, and we can attain Quranic wisdom, we can attain lot of knowledge, and we can attain paradisical knowledge also. So without love, it is impossible for us to go to ibadat, to do sacrifice, to do ginan. So all those rituals which we doing, we do not do without love. So only this love will get us into all those activities which we do at Jamaat Khana or at home, all the prayers and all of the religious activity we do. This is because of the love. And and one very important component, that one who, if even in the material love, if we love someone, we want to find more things about that person. For example, if somebody loves someone, and then that person would want to know what that person is doing, what he likes, what his dislike, how is she or he maybe living, so what are their relatives. So even we started loving that person's relatives also. We started loving what that person loves, what that person likes. So we want to know a lot of things in the material love also. We want to know a lot of things about the person whom we love. So in similar manner, if we say that we love Imam, but we do not know what Imam is, what Imam actually, Imam's Batini Noor is, and who will give all this knowledge? Imam's Faramin will give this knowledge, Dais and books will give this knowledge that what are the attributes and the treasures of the Imam. So if we really are loving Imam, that means that we want to know a lot of things about Imam, not physically, but also esoterically, not externally, but also Batini ilm and Batini knowledge also. So it is narrated from Maula Ali that once Prophet took hold of the hands of Imam Hussain and Imam Hassan and said, "He who loves me and loves these two, like Imam Hassan and Hussain, and their father and their mother, will be with me in my rank on the day of resurrection." Now, this hadith is usually very much famous in Shia Ishna Shari, those who are saying that those who love Hassan, Hussein, Ali, and Fatima, they will be with Prophet Muhammad. But this is actually the love of the Imam of the time, because the Panchtane Pak Noor is in the Imam of the time. Imam of the time is Panchtane Pak. So Prophet Muhammad is saying that Panchtani, love of the Panchtani Pak is the moment, if Momin has Panchtani Pak love, then that means that he will be part of me. He will be with the Panchtani Pak. So Holy Prophet is true in that sense, but then the faith and the love lies through Imam of the time. We can reach Panchtani Pak love only through the Imam of the time, because now Imam of the time is the living Imam and the living Noor. So Noor is also Nar. Nar means fire, and Noor, we all know Noor is light. So light and fire. Noor-e-Ishq, Nar-e-Ishq. So Noor and Nar. So divine love is also a fire. Fire is light and fire is fire in Quranic language. In Quranic language, fire comes in many places. Fire is the fire of hell also, and also fire is being explained in terms of blessings also. Like in Hazrat Musa, it is said that when he see the fire, Allah says that blessed be whosoever is in the fire and whosoever is around it. So that means that that fire is actually the blessing. And this is not the fire of hell, but this is the fire of Noor. So this Noor is basically fire of love. So that means the love is Noor and love is Nar. Means love is Noor and love is fire. Now if we see fire, what are the attributes of fire? What are the attributes of sun? So they actually gives not only the light, they are not only giving the light, but they are also burning properties. They have the burning properties also. For example, sun has the capacity of growing, ripening, but also burning and reviving things. So why we need something or some concept of burning? Because there are two main important concepts. For love, a person is actually burning. When we are having love with someone, um, our affection also, our heart is yearning and burning in that love. Even in material life, for example, if we love children and something goes wrong with the children or something goes wrong with the child, how much we burn, how much we are in fire. So we always say that ye mere pe qayamat aa gayi. So because we love children, we love our loved ones so much that if anything goes wrong, we feel the burning and yearning. So that is the property of a fire. So fire has a burning property, and love has also the burning property. And similarly, the fire burn in terms of religious fire or a nar, it will burn our carnal soul, our carnal selves. The more we have gone to the stages of love, higher we are in the stages of love and ishq, higher we will be able to burn our carnal soul. Because fire has a property of like burning, and fire cause something to melt. So thus, if a moment is to cure himself by the current of spiritual electricity, or to burn carnal germs, carnal soul, or melt and mold in the mold of perfect man, then with the feeling of utmost indigenous. So that means that we have to burn in imploring, shedding tears, doing sujood, so that the purification takes place. Noor and Nar will not enter, particularly Noor-e-Ishq will not enter in Momin's heart unless that Momin will implore, shed tear, will burn, and will give the melting kind of activity. Then it is difficult for the soul of love, which is Ruhul Ishq or Noor-e-Ishq, enter into him. So to enter the Noor-e Ishq in our heart, it is very important that Nare Ishq should work. So that Nare Ishq will work so that the Noor Ishq will enter. Therefore, Noor Ishq and Nare Ishq goes hand in hand, side by side. But for Nar, burning, melting, imploring, humility, these all are very important to get into the Noor and the Nar. Like in Ginan also, Pir says that Kapra dhove so kya hua, dil dhove so paave. So dil dove, how can heart, we can wash our heart? There is nothing available to wash the heart, only with ansu, only with tears. So the tears in the love of Mola will get our heart pure and get our heart clean. So Pir is highlighting that though we come and do cleaning of the house, cleaning of our clothes, but until and unless we will not clean, dona, Pir has used the word dona, and dona is not possible without water, without tears. So therefore, tears, melting, purification, imploring is very important to get into the Nare-Ishq and finally into the Noor-e-Ishq. Some other examples of Noor-e-Ishq and Nare-Ishq is Adam's story. We all know that Adam has two sons, Habil and Kabil, and they both were like to get into the imamat. Adam said that you do sacrifice, and it was customary at that time that if somebody wants to do sacrifice, they put something onto a mountain, and heavenly fire will eat or take up that thing, so that that sacrifice will be accepted by heavenly fire. So that was a custom there. So in Quran, Habil and Kabil, when they were not fighting, but when they have some competition about imamat, then Adam says that, okay, you put your sacrifice or something you sacrifice and put that thing on the mountain. So Habil took a sheep and kept it on a mountain, whereas Kabil took some ears of corn from the field and kept them on the mountain. So then, according to the custom of that time, a flame of fire descended from heaven and ate Habil's sacrifice. So what does that mean? Like if we see that Habil's sacrifice was being eaten by fire of the heaven. So sheep is carnal soul, is the example of carnal soul. So Habil actually sacrificed his carnal soul. So when he sacrifices his carnal soul, the nar enter into his carnal soul, and that nar has eaten a carnal soul, and he gets Ishq Ilahi. So heavenly fire is a sacred fire which has accepted the sacrifice of Habil, and this was the fire of love. Material fire is devoid of intellect and soul. How it can represent Allah and judge between pious and impious. So heavenly, this material fire has not the ability to judge that who puts with love and who is not with love. So that means that this fire is the fire of love. And as I said, that the tawil of sheep is animal soul or carnal soul. Hazrat Habil has offered the sacrifice of his animal or his carnal soul. The other important concept is heart, because Ishq and love is very close to heart. So in Arabic, heart is called fuad. So Fuad is derived from Fa, Hamza, Dal. And it is because it comes from Taf Adu, and Taf Out or Taf Adu means to burn up, burn brightly, fiercely, blaze, flame, heat, fever. So all those terms are um, denoting towards Fuad or heart. So that means that heart has also the property of yearning and burning. So if that love caused that heart um, burned with the love of Mola. So heart contained the analogy of fire of the heavenly love. So we're talking about heavenly love and not the material love, but we can take example of the material love to get and understand the heavenly love. So fire of heavenly love and the light of recognition. Certainly this is case because purpose of Quran is that the man may actualize his potential and worship God with the utmost love. So utmost love, ardent love, strong love is important to actualize our potentials. We have a lot of potentials. We have potential to become annihilate in the Imam of time. We have potentials to become one in Allah. So that potential will only be actualized if we have Noor Ishq and Nar Ishq at the strongest level in the utmost love. So when true Momin kindles his heart like a candle with knowledge and good deeds, ill or amal, not only ill, not only amal, not only giravazari, not only imploring, not only shedding tears, but knowledge is also important. True love, God will one day grant him a luminous heart. So with this material heart or this human heart can turn into the luminous heart. And then in that heart, um, Momin will find only Noor, and that heart will be the Nurani heart. And if that Nurani heart basically is the heart of the Imam of the time, so Imam will get you into your heart will be turned into the heart of the Imam of the time or annihilate into the heart of the Imam of the time. Because slowly and gradually we have achieved our or actualized our potential to that level that we can reach that luminous heart. Imam has luminous heart. None of us has luminous heart. We all have a human heart with some property of Nourish and Narish. But if we want to actualize ourselves, then our heart can be inhalate into the human heart, and Imam of the time will grant us that human heart, luminous heart. And there is also some of discussion around love and knowledge. What is to do with knowledge? As I said, that knowledge is also very important, but whether knowledge comes first or love come first. Usually, when we do not have a lot of knowledge, particularly in childhood, we were asked to love Allah. We were asked by our parents, by our elders, to love Imam of the time, to do some rituals. to create that love. So that little things, if we put in the children, and those activities can create a love. So initially, the first maybe bridge is the love, and then slowly and gradually, divine knowledge is important, where we get into the attributes and the virtue of the true of the Imam of the time, and that has to be shown through knowledge. And if we are not into getting these attributes and virtue of the knowledge virtues of the Imam of the time, which is in Holy Quran, which is mentioned in Hadith, which is mentioned in our history, which is mentioned in a lot of smiley books. So all those books are actually giving us the attributes and the virtues of the Imam of the time, and it is given to the weak moment, so that that weak moment can create a divine love into their heart. So for the knowledge, so that means that this divine love initially, then divine knowledge will gain more divine love, and then love will be the product of the spiritual love. So the fruit of the Quran and Hadith is also important. It is through the result of the religious belief, and love is the reward of the observation of beauty and elegance. Definitely, we need to know the beauty and the elegance as far as not only the Zahiri love, the Zahiri Didar, Zahiri how Imam look like, what Imam does, how Imam life is in a Zahiri, but also the Batini attributes and the Batini virtues. And who to give that Batini virtues is the whole Quran is full of Batini virtues of the Imam of the time. And Qurani Tawil is the full of Batini virtues of the Imam of the time. As Hafiz Shirazi said, that the one whose heart has become alive with true love cannot die on any account. Our permanence, eternity is inscribed on this page of the world, or this book of the world. That means we have heard that somebody, if we get that water of life, and if we drink the water of life, we will never die. So Hafiz is saying that this water of life is actually the true love. So if we, our heart is full of true love, or our heart is illumined by true love, or luminous heart will never die, because it's Noor, and Noor will never die. There's another example in Quran about divine knowledge, is the love story of Zulaikha. We all know that Zulaikha, and there were very many descriptions about Zulaikha's love, and many people says that Zulaikha has fallen in love, and he was not like good women, so they portray Zulaikha not in a good words, but what actually our Dai, and how we learned that Zulaikha was deeply in love with Hazrat Yusuf, exoteric, less exoteric, but the esoteric beauty, because Yusuf was the Khalifa and Imam of the time, and his beauty and his elegance and his knowledge was, Zulaikha has seen his beauty and knowledge which he has, which Hazrat Yusuf has. So he was under the love of his beauty and elegance esoterically, not exoterically, and therefore and in that ayat, which is in 12 by 30, it is said that hubban. Hubban means she actually fall in love. So that means that she fell in love with Yusuf. So that is also hub. In Quran, the word used is hub or hubban. And it is said that indeed love for this slave has won over her heart. So this is also love for Hazrat Yusuf, and Hazrat Yusuf esoteric beauty and esoteric elegance. Now there was argument about intellect and love, ishq or akal. whether akal is important or ishq is important. And Allama Sahib, in one of his book, Tajribat-e-Ruhani, he has mentioned a chapter where he says that argument about intellect and love, ishq or akal ki behas. So Allama Sahib has raised a question that whether intellect is greater or love is greater. They both have existed for a long time. So if intellect has an excellence or superiority of love, then what is the proof? And if love is more excellent and exalted than intellect, then what is the proof? Then he explained in the chapter by a hadith where uh, Allah has said that जब अल्लाह ताला ने अकल को पैदा किया, वो बहुक्म खुदा बोलने लगी. फिर खुदा ने उससे फरमाया, when खुदा ने अकल को पैदा किया तो खुदा ने फरमाया आगे आ, तो वो आगे आई. फिर फरमाया पीछे जा, तो वो पीछे गई. फिर फरमाया मेरी इज्जत और जलालत की कसम, मैंने कोई ऐसी खल्क नहीं की जो तेरे मुकाबले में मुझको ज्यादा महबूब हो. और बात ये है कि मैंने तुझको सिर्फ ऐसे शख्स में कामिल और मुकम्मल कर दिया है जिससे मैं मोहब्बत करता हूँ. Now you see that, and we'll read in English also. हाँ मेरे अमरो नहीं, we'll leave that thing. But अकल को सबसे पहले पैदा किया. So when God created intellect, He interrogated him and said, Akal, come forward. He came forward. Then he said, go back. He went back. Then he said, my honor and majesty, I did not create a creature more than beloved to me. Now Allah has used beloved to me. So that means Akal there is a ishq and there is a love in that Akal. And then he also says that I will not perfect you except him whom I love. That means Allah has used the term love when He was creating the akal and when He was completing the akal also. So He is saying that I will put you into a person whom I love, or whom the person who is at the highest level of ishq. So he will give only akal to the people or to the moment who is in Ishq Ilahi or strongest in the Ishq Ilahi. Because Allah also loves akal. So that means that ishq and akal actually are intertwined. They are in circle, or maybe they are spiral. So we cannot separate ishq and akal. Who is first? Who is better? Which is superior? Which is not superior? Because akal will, and this akal I'm talking about this intellect or akal. It's a batini akal or it's a religious akal. It's not that dunyavi intellect or a material intellect we're talking about. We're talking about the dini akal. So the dini akal, where we can get into the tawil of Quran, we understand Imam, we understand all the esoteric knowledge, only the one whom Allah loves. And Allah loves those who are Farman Bardar and who loves Allah. So therefore, the love is, the component of love is also superior, and component of intellect is also superior. So in the hadith, it says that God first created the intellect. So He created akal first, but He will complete this akal in the personal world of God's beloved. So the one whom Allah's love. So this is the story of personal world. It's not something where he created some akal in the abstract manner, but it's in the personal world, where the perfect man is first of all born physically, then spiritually. Then subsequently, due to beloved of God, because after the spiritual upliftment, he becomes the beloved of God, the light of intellect is born and in his forehead, and this light gradually becomes complete after the special intellectual life begins. So this is because of this it is said that God first created the intellect. So God first created the intellect because He wants to complete that intellect in the personal world. So in the story of the personal world, we all have a personal world. So Ishq and Akal goes hands in hand. The more you get into the ishq, more you want to get knowledge about Imam of the time. And more you get knowledge about the Imam of the time, esoteric knowledge about the Imam of the time, more you indulge into the love of the Imam of the time. More you know his attributes, more you know his virtue, his beauties in Quran, then you end up um, loving Imam more and more, and you will get stronger. We all will get stronger in Imam of the time, in Iman and Ishq also. Israfil is called the angel of love, and that angel basically it's not in the personal world. This is the angelic property or Israfili power. We all have some Israfili power or a power of love or an angel of love. How we can say that this Ishq Ilahi has Israfili power? Because Allah has created man from tinkling clay, खनकती हुई मिट्टी. So खुदा ने हमको खनकती हुई मिट्टी से पैदा किया. खनकती means that has a tinkling or a sound which tinkle. So that tinkle sound actually khanana is the sound of Israfil, and he create perfect man while blowing the sur or blowing the nakur. And this luminous blow is actually divine spirit. When खुदा ने जब खनकती हुई मिट्टी से पैदा किया, and then he blow his nur or blow his soul. So when he blow his soul, why he used blow his soul? So that blowing of sur is basically Israfili sur or Israfili angel. And then again in ayat 55, in Surah 55, ayat 14 to 50, which is Surah Rahman, he created man from fermented clay, dry, tinkling, hard like earthenware, and created jinn from flame of fire. So now again, here it is fire and angel of love. So this fire is also not the fire of hell, but this is also the fire of love. So with the fire of love, we will create subtle body. A personal world can create a subtle body. And the detailed description of flame and the fire is that Allah created jinn from different lights of the personal world of the perfect man. In such creation of Allah, the Lord of honor are the common bounties for both group of humankind and jinn. Therefore, in Surah Rahman, all bounties are common. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, and E Girohe Inso Jinn, O humankind and jinn, you are given a lot of bounties, so why aren't you the gratitude, pay gratitude towards Allah? So this is basically common bounties for humankind and men. And then he taught the bayan. That means that the compassionate Allah has created Arif in his personal world, and step by step he has perfected him and taught him the science of bayan, means the science of Tawil. So he will teach Tawil stepwise after blowing the sur, after giving his nur into the perfect man, so that he wants to get that moment and perfect the akal intellect in that moment. So first step is the love with the Imam of the time, then gradually with the knowledge and with more love, the akal will finally get into the perfection for that moment of, or for that perfect man. A book of love is Ishq Ilahi or a book of Ishq Ilahi. We all know Zabur, Psalm, and this book is known as Zabur, and it is revealed to Hazrat Dawood. Usually all books has Wahi, like Allah's Kalam in the book, like Quran. The whole of the Quran is Allah's Kalam, and we know that this Allah's Kalam has been revealed to Prophet Muhammad. Similarly, other books are also revealed to other prophets. But Hazrat Dawood actually book is his own poems, his own recitation of poems, which he used to do it with the musical instrument. So it was a unique and melodious voice, using and praising the love and pray for love. So Hazrat Dawood poems and praise is given the rank of heavenly book in Batin, because they are not the speeches of God, they are not the Wahi, but Hazrat Dawood's poems, Hazrat Dawood's heavenly prayer is given the status of heavenly book. So that means that Hazrat Dawood's speech was actually highlighted in the speech of the Imam of the time, or Imam of Allah, or Imam or Noor of Allah. So his heart become luminous, his speech become luminous, his words become luminous, his poems become luminous. So when his all attributes, Hazrat Dawood's all attributes, all whatever he was saying, it's out of love, out of ishq, then it was given the whole book, whole poetry book was given the rank of heavenly book. And in our term, in our tradition, like we call it Ginan, when Pir writes the poetry and it is given the rank of, naturally it is not given the rank of heavenly book, because this is not the time of Tanzil, but it is given the rank of Ginan. So it's given the rank of heavenly poem. And like for example in Quran, one of the ayat says that, and Prophet, you did not throw dust, but Allah did it. तो ये मैंने नहीं मारा, बल्कि ये तुमने नहीं मारा, मैंने मारा है. So that means whatever Prophet was doing with his hands, with his tongue, with his emotions, actually Allah is taking ownership that whatever you do, it's actually I have done it. So whatever Prophet was speaking, actually Allah is saying that it is not you who is speaking, it's I who is speaking. It's not you who do anything, it's I who do a lot of things through you, because all of the Prophet Muhammad heart and the mind and the action become luminous and with one with Allah. So this shows that the speech and the action of Prophet and the Imam becomes the God's speech and action, and thus without doubt, Psalms is a heavenly book, or Psalms are heavenly book, because there are a lot of poetry around it. So with divine love, this means that source, which is yearning and burning, nar, fire, noor, light, and saz is the musical instrument. So this all ishq is attached to all these four kinds of attributes. So therefore we call Noor-e-Ishq, Nar-e-Ishq, Soz-e-Ishq, Saz-e-Ishq. And if we'll get time, we'll recite Noor-e-Ishq, Nar-e-Ishq, Soz-e-Ishq, Saz-e-Ishq. So we can internalize how important ishq is. So final thoughts that inhalation of the Imam of the time is not possible without ardent love, and ardent love is reliant on that knowledge from which the unique qualities of Mawla will gradually be revealed and known, because through ardent love and through knowledge we will Mawla's quality will be revealed. And it is good fortune of these people who in the light of Quran and Hadith see the manifestation of their beloved everywhere. So in Quran it is said that wherever you turn there is a face of God. So because they look with the eye of the love of God. So therefore, when you look to the humanity, to the people around you, when we look at the people around us, when we look something where the good properties, good attributes, that means that there is some light of Allah or light of the Imam of the time in our eyes from which we are looking. And Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, there are two Farameen I have mentioned here. देखो परवाना शमा की रोशनी देखकर इश्क और मोहब्बत से अपनी जान दे देता है. So Imam is explaining that if you see that how moth is killing himself in the flame of the light, तो इसको कितनी शदीद और मोहब्बत और इश्क है, ये बहुत से परवाने जान देते हैं। आपको भी ऐसी मोहब्बत खुदावंद ताला के लिए रखनी चाहिए। ऐसे आशिक बने, खुदावंद ताला से इश्क व मोहब्बत करे, इबादत व बंदगी भी इश्क व मोहब्बत के साथ करे। So here a very important message Imam is giving, that ibadat, bandagi and anything which we do, we need to do with love and with ardent love. And in one Farman, Maula says that it is incumbent upon man to have love for God in his heart. How intoxicated man remains in the worldly love, and how much trouble and restlessness he feels. Man must have love for God thousands of times greater than the worldly love. So how much we have love for our children, for our loved ones. Imam is saying that you need to have 1,000 times greater love to the Imam of the time. The light of God dwells in your heart. You should try to increase it day by day through love. So light of Noor and the Nar, you can increase day by day through Imam of the time. So in Ahya ul Ulum, there is a prayer of love. Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, was recorded, and it says that, O God, bestow upon me your love and the love of the one who loves you, and the love that will make me closer to your love and make your love to me more palatable than cold water. I like to read in Urdu as well. Ya Allah, मुझे तेरी ज़ात अक़दस की मोहब्बत नसीब फरमा, और उस शख्स की मोहब्बत भी जो तुझको महबूब रखता है, और जो चीज यानी कौल और फेल मुझे तेरी मोहब्बत के करीब कर देती हो, उसकी मोहब्बत भी, और अपनी मोहब्बत मुझे ठंडे पानी से भी ज्यादा अजीज और लजीज बना दे। आमीन या रब्बल आलमीन। And in one share which I have quote, I would like to recite also, but before that I have somebody has recited yesterday in one of our mehfil, so I want you to just listen to that stanza only. मैं गदा हूँ उसके दर का और मरीज़े इश्क भी, या तबीबे आसमानी दे मुझे दरमान इश्क. It is तबीब, not ज़बीब. या तबीबे आसमानी दे मुझे दरमान इश्क. We will recite few times Noor Ishq and Nar Ishq, since we have 5 more minutes to conclude. So let me know if you can hear this. Can you hear?
For a very brief time, we could hear you, not anymore. No, we cannot hear you. No, we still cannot hear you. Doctor, we cannot hear you, but one of our friends can volunteer to recite this.
Sorry?
One of our friends we volunteer to recite this, but we cannot hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So she recited very nicely that मैं गदा हूँ उसके दर का और मरीज़े इश्क भी, या तबीबे आसमानी दे मुझे दरमान इश्क, या तबीबे आसमानी दे मुझे दरमान इश्क. नूरे इश्क नारे इश्क सोज़े इश्क साज़े इश्क. नूरे इश्क narish, sozish, sazish. You can recite also. I'll recite one more time, and somebody else would like to recite, they can recite. Noorish, narish, sozish, sazish. Noorish, narish, sozish, sazish. Noorish, narish, sozish, sazish. मैं गदा हूँ उसके दर का और मरीज़ इश्क भी या तबीबे आसमानी दे मुझे दरमानिश नूरे इश्क नारे इश्क सोज़े इश्क साज़िश नूरे इश्क नारे इश्क सोज़े इश्क साज़िश. Anyone would like to recite Noorish, Narish, Sozish, Sazish? This is a good tasbih to get ourselves into love, or maybe create into the love, because in the heart we are actually asking Mola to give Noor, Nar, Soz and Saz of Ishq. Any volunteer?
Priya Sahib, you want to
जी
recite?
नूरे इश्क नारे इश्क सोज़े इश्क साज़े इश्क नूरे इश्क नारे इश्क सोज़े इश्क साज़े इश्क नूरे इश्क नारे इश्क सोज़े इश्क साज़े इश्क.
Subhanallah. So remember this prayer that Ya Allah, mujhe teri zaat aqdas, like bestow me your love and the love of one who loves you, and love that which make me closer to your love and make your love to me more palatable than cold water. So this is Prophet Muhammad's prayer, and very important prayer, and this verse also very important verse, because we calling that we are a Mareez of Ishq, patient of Ishq, and you are Tabib, you are physician. Please give me the medicine of love. So I'm done. If anybody else want to maybe do 2-3 times the Nuresh Naresh, otherwise we can have questions and answers.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Ji Shiraz Bhai.
Yesterday we discussed about something on monoreality, and you know, about our origin is over there, and we are just a shadow of our existence. Now, you know, there was a phrase in the memoirs in chapter 8 of Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah, may my soul be sacrificed to that Imam. He said, we move and have our being in God. Now, when he says the word we move, is it our shadow which is here? And our true origin is still there, and we have not left. Is that what it means? Can you
Partly you already have answered that. Actually, we have not fully cut off from Imam or of the time of the Noor, but it's like sun rays. We are here, and therefore eventually we will end up and annihilate in the Imam of the time. So it's our shadow, and we live, move in the Imam of the time, means the whole creature or whole humanity actually is in the control of Nafse Wahida. And we all are moving because of the Nafse Wahida. So we are in the control of This universe is in the control of Nafse Wahida. So, and or mono-reality. So it's the whole ocean of Noor, and we are immersed in that Noor.
Okay, so monoreality is talking about we are seeking to see our true origin, isn't it?
Yes, yes, you've answered your query.
Right.
Yes.
So I have another question. He says that you know the concept of Noor. Now Noor is a constant and perpetual event. It has got no beginning, no end. That means that Noor is omnipresent everywhere. How do you relate that to monoreality?
Because actually, mono-reality is what is mono-reality? Mono-reality is like one reality. So all, if I said that I have some Noor, you have some Noor, you have some Noor, or somebody else has some Noor, it's not like that. It's the reality of all of us. So it's all the soul's reality. So we are actually the shadow, and we will reach into the reality. So this mono reality means the reality of Noor. It's a Noor only, and we have that connection, or one end of the Noor is with us, but the other, which is very important end of the Noor, is with the Imam of the time. So eventually we will enter into that reality. So we can say that Noor is reality. So it's a mono reality, or nafse wahida, or maybe pluralism, which where all the realities are one, or Noor, it's same. We can also call it Akal, we can also call it spiritual Noor, Akli Noor, mono reality. There are multiple names.
So what we are trying to do here is that the shadow of our being here, we are trying to actualize to the actual soul, which is at the origin, at the other end, and but that will only happen when we are actually merged with the Nur of Allah, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Right. Okay. Now, my one final question was that what in my opinion intellect drives the body? Is that correct? My understanding.
Like physical intellect definitely drives the body, but religious intellect drives your soul and your Nurani thoughts and Nurani intellect. So you have a physical body
Yes.
and a soul. We all have a soul and have an intellect. So soul is also Noor and intellect is also Noor. But
Right.
since intellect is like intellect come later with the love of the Imam of the time, and with wisdom, which is Nurani wisdom, esoteric knowledge. So therefore we call it that the intellect is first and the last. Because the ultimate aim of all of us is to gain knowledge and to understand and to know our reality. So this knowing of the reality is actually will be accomplished by intellect.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dr. Saiba, I think friends asking, I joined late. So if you could repeat the prayer of love that Prophet Muhammad used to recite.
Okay, I can share that screen. I actually, as far as dua is concerned, it's very easy for me and connect with the prayer in Urdu more than English. So I will read in Urdu. Somebody who would like to read in English, please volunteer yourself. So in Rasul ne farmaya, या अल्लाह मुझे तेरी ज़ात अक़दस की मोहब्बत नसीब फरमा, और उस शख्स की मोहब्बत भी जो तुझको महबूब रखता है, और जो चीज़ यानी कौल और फेल मुझे तेरी मोहब्बत से करीब कर देती हो, उसकी मोहब्बत भी, और अपनी मोहब्बत मुझे ठंडे पानी से भी ज्यादा अजीज और लजीज बना दे। फिर ये वर्स है, मैं गदा हूँ उसके दर का और मरीज़े इश्क भी, या तबीबे आसमानी दे मुझे दरमान इश्क। नूर इश्क, नार इश्क, सोज इश्क, साज इश्क. Anyone would like to read like very beautifully in English? Please go
Oh,
ahead.
can I
Okay.
please?
Yes, please.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Prayer of love. O God, bestow upon me your love and the love of the one who loves you, and the love of that which makes me closer to your love, and make your love to me more palatable than cold water. Noor-e ishq, nar-e ishq, Suze ishq, Saze ishq. Shukran lillah walhamdulillah.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Ameen, Ameen.
Thank
So
you.
please do recite this tasbih. Noor ishq, naar ishq, soz ishq and saz ishq. In any tune you would want to.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Saiba. Thank you,
Thank
friends.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
Ya Ali
Yal madad,
madad,
you,
ya Ali
Mother.
madad.
Ya Ali Madad.
yal madad.
Ali Mada, thank you very much. It was very nice. Really enjoyed.
Yal madad. Thank you. Yal madad.
Yani Madad.
Yal
Thank you, Dr. Rubina. Ali Mada.
madad. Yal madad.